Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Public Forum.
Even though we have immense human capital, it is grossly underutilized. Lack of access to finance, lack of infrastructure, this translates into low productive capacity. This also is exacerbated by challenges such as climate change.
Good morning, Nasu. Thank you so much for joining me on Marrakesh Coffee. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. Thank you.
Thank you. So first of all, congratulations for being selected as a young trade leader. This is the first ever cohort. How does that feel?
Thank you. I am absolutely humbled and honored to have been selected as a young trade leader.
Amazing. Maybe we can start off with you just giving a quick overview of the program for our viewers.
So the Young Trade Leaders Program is a brilliant initiative by the WTO to really bring young people on board and have them understand the inner workings of the WTO. So we got to attend a public forum this week. We got to meet members of the Secretariat, including the DG. I think that was amazing. And we've been assigned mentors who will help us and provide advice and assistance throughout the course of the year. So it's really amazing.
Seems like you guys had an amazing time the past few days. And I saw you were also a panelist at one of the sessions in the public forum. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your experience at the public forum this year. How has it been so far?
It has been an incredible experience. Like, we have gotten so much exposure to different areas in international trade. So there have been sessions on digital trade and the integration of AI in supply chains and so on. We've also had sessions on indigenous people and intellectual property rights. So it's been a very wholesome experience.
That's amazing. I actually got a chance to attend your session. It was very refreshing to hear your thoughts and some of the other young trade leaders' thoughts on inclusivity and trade. So now we're going to move to a little bit of WTO related questions. How did you first hear about the WTO? Any interesting facts or history that caught your attention?
I first heard about the WTO in 2021 when Director General Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala was actually elected as the Director General. So that was the first time I heard about it. And an interesting part of the WTO's history that stood out to me is the transition from the GATT to the WTO. So initially, the GATT was focused on trade in goods, but now the WTO has expanded and evolved dynamically to keep up with the changing times. So now it's not just trade in goods, it's trade in services. Now we're looking at digital trade and emerging technologies. So it's really exciting to see how the organization has evolved over time.
Thank you. That's very interesting. So you're here on behalf of the young trade leaders and the youth. How can the younger generation contribute to inclusive trade, which is one of our core themes for this year's public forum?
Thank you. I think the younger generation can contribute to inclusive trade by joining the conversation. So realizing that trade is not some pie in the sky type thing, but it's something that they can actually get involved in. I actually credit the WTO for creating the YTL program because it's decentralized trade and made it more accessible to young people. So getting involved in the conversation and using and leveraging technology, so creating innovative solutions to some of the problems that they see in their communities and to actually raise awareness about the issues that they care about on social media. So getting involved in the conversation.
And that's exactly why you guys are here. So it's really nice to see that the young trade leaders have been given a platform and a seat at the table, per se. So we'll move to our next question. How do you think trade will evolve in the years and decades to come?
I think trade is going to continue to digitize. There are a lot of emerging technologies, and I think it's only going to get more efficient and more effective. I also think trade is going to become more equitable and inclusive. Our generation really values social justice and making sure everyone gets a seat at the table. So I think it's definitely going to be more equitable, ensuring that there is special differentiation treatment to ensure that everyone has a meaningful seat at the table. And I think it will become more purposeful because we like to ask a lot of questions. So we will definitely ask a lot of questions on the global arena to figure out why we are doing certain things. So maybe there might be reforms in the future. We just want to make sure trade works.
Exactly. And I think you did touch on a lot of key elements that have been discussed in the past few days. One of them is trade evolving to be more digital in the future. We get to our last question. It's a very fun, different question. So if you had to explain global trade using only emojis, which one would you pick and why?
I would pick a phone,
Okay.
a cargo ship, and a plane.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why?
I think now a lot of trade is happening on our phones. Like we don't realize that we're engaging in international trade, but when you order clothes from your favorite shop that's abroad, when you create a social media campaign for a customer in another country, you're involved in international trade in goods and services, and then usually the goods come via ships or using planes. So those are the means that we're trading with.
That's a very, very cool answer. Thank you so much, Nasu. It's been such a pleasure having you with me on Marrakesh Coffee, and all the best of luck with your program. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.